On a Sunday morning in 2026, Carol Johnson sat in the third pew of Mount Zion Baptist, her hand pressed to her chest.
Carol? Carol, what's wrong?
Deacon James was already dialing 911. Within minutes, paramedics had her strapped to a gurney inside the ambulance, an oxygen mask covering her weathered face, the siren wailing through the Sunday quiet streets.
Michael, I should have called him last night. He doesn't even know I've been feeling poorly.
At St. Mary's Hospital, the emergency team wheeled her straight into pre-op. The words on the chart were terrifying. Severe coronary blockage, emergency triple bypass. Her son was in Seattle. She was utterly alone.
Miss Carol, you used to draw hearts on my napkins, remember?
That voice. Those eyes. It can't be. Not after all these years. Olivia, is that you?
18 years earlier, before the hospital, before the heart attack, Carol Johnson wore a hairnet and apron at Lincoln Elementary School. A new girl shuffled through the cafeteria line, too thin, eyes too old for a 7-year-old.
That child hasn't eaten a real meal in days. I know hunger when I see it.
After the students left, Carol went to the kitchen and packed an extra lunch.
A little heart never hurt nobody. Just a small reminder somebody cares.
Olivia found the brown bag on her usual table. No note, no name.
Someone must have made a mistake. This can't be for me.
That night at her foster home, dinner was crackers and tap water. The school lunch was the only full meal she got. The next day, there was another bag. And the day after that, for 6 years, Carol never missed a single lunch. Every napkin carried a heart. Every day, Olivia finished her lunch quietly, folded the napkin with its hand-drawn heart, and tucked it into her pocket. At home, she added it to a shoebox she kept hidden under her bed. By 2014, that shoebox held 1,100 napkins, each one a silent promise that someone cared. On her last day at Lincoln Elementary, Olivia saw Carol in the hallway.
Thank you. I don't know who you are, but you saved me.
Carol didn't hear the words, but she caught the girl's grateful glance and gave a small nod before turning away. 6 years later, in 2020, Carol retired after 31 years of service. There was a small gathering in the break room with a $9 sheet cake and a card signed by the kitchen staff. No speeches, no grand goodbye. She simply walked out those doors at the end of her shift, same as any other day. Meanwhile, Olivia carried that shoebox through 4 foster placements, high school, and into college. It was the only thing that never changed. After retirement, Carol's days blurred into a quiet routine of church, doctor's appointments, and waiting by the phone.
Michael says he'll visit, but Seattle's a long way. At least he calls, sometimes.
Olivia graduated high school top of her class, the shoebox tucked into her suitcase. She was going to be a doctor. In her dorm room, late at night, a napkin with a faded heart sat on her desk beside textbooks.
Every heart reminds me someone believed in me before I believed in myself.
Hey Mom, sorry it's been a while. Work's crazy. How's your heart?
Years passed. Olivia completed medical school, residency, and a specialty in cardiac surgery. When a fellowship opened at St. Mary's Hospital in Columbus, Ohio, 30 miles from her old school, she didn't hesitate.
If Miss Carol is still alive, maybe, just maybe, I can find her and say thank you.
Meanwhile, Carol's angina worsened. She didn't tell Michael. She didn't want to be a burden. The surgeon's eyes glistened as she pulled down her mask completely.
Yes, Miss Carol, it's Olivia. I know this is hard to believe, but I became a surgeon. Those lunches you packed, I never forgot them. I kept every single napkin.
Carol's trembling hand reached for the phone, her vision still blurred by tears.
You kept them? All those years in foster care?
Every single one. They were the only thing that made me feel like I mattered.
A nurse stepped forward, but Olivia raised a hand, her voice steady.
Miss Carol, I'm going to be your surgeon today, and I promise you, I'll take care of your heart like you took care of mine.
Oh, baby, I just wanted you to eat. I never dreamed.
The anesthesiologist approached with the syringe, and Olivia gave a small nod. It was time. The cold anesthetic spread through Carol's veins, and her eyes fluttered shut.
Lord, if this is my time, let her hands be steady. Let my boy know I loved him.
In the operating room, Olivia stood over the draped form, the weight of the moment pressing on her chest.
She fed me when no one else would. Now I have to feed her back with this scalpel.
But for a millisecond, her hand trembled, and she saw a flash of those napkins, the image of a little girl unfolding a brown bag, a heart drawn in black ink on a cheap napkin.
Scalpel.
The first incision was clean and precise. The room fell into a tense, practiced rhythm. Carol's heart lay exposed, its faltering beats visible to the entire room. One wrong move could tear a vessel. One lapse in focus could end it all. As Olivia's hands moved with practiced precision, her mind slipped back 18 hours to the moment she first saw Carol Johnson's chart. She had been reviewing pre-op files in her office when one name stopped her cold. Carol Johnson, former Lincoln Elementary cafeteria.
Miss Carol? Number? It can't be. After all these years.
She rushed to her locker and pulled out the old shoebox, its cardboard corners frayed from years of handling. Inside lay 1,100 napkins, each bearing a hand-drawn heart. She lifted one from 2008, brittle and faded. A memory flashed. A 7-year-old girl in 2 big clothes, unfolding that very napkin for the first time. Her eyes wide with wonder.
She kept me alive every single day, and she never even knew my last name.
She took a photo of the box with her phone. She needed Carol to see it, to know that her small kindness had never been forgotten. Then she closed the locker and walked toward pre-op. Whatever happened in surgery, Miss Carol would know the truth first. Now, in the OR, that memory steadied her hand. The child she'd fed was holding the scalpel. The heart-lung machine hummed, taking over Carol's circulation as Olivia prepared the bypass grafts.
She taught me that one sandwich can change a day. Now I have to change a lifetime.
But when she attempted to wean Carol off the bypass, the heart quivered, refusing to beat on its own.
Give me a little more time. She needs a little more help. Every napkin, every heart, she never gave up on me. I won't give up on her.
She increased the bypass flow, her hands steadying as she concentrated on the suture line. The room held its breath. Then, slowly, Carol's heart began to contract. Faint at first, then stronger.
There it is. Come on, Miss Carol.
The monitor beeped a steady rhythm. The crisis had passed. Olivia stepped back from the table, tears streaking her face. The child who had been fed was now the surgeon who had mended a heart. Carol awoke to a blur of fluorescent lights and the steady beep of a heart monitor.
Miss Carol, can you hear me? You are out of surgery. Everything went perfectly.
My chest. It aches, but it feels alive. She really did it. You did it. Olivia, I am still here.
I told you I'd take care of your heart, and I will keep that promise.
She reached into her pocket and placed a small, familiar item on the bedside table. A brown paper bag with a hand-drawn heart.
A heart. Just like my little napkins. I never thought I'd see one again.
You'll see plenty more, Miss Carol. I am going to bring you lunch every day until you are home.
Tears spilled down Carol's cheeks, not of fear, but of a deep, quiet joy that her quiet kindness had come full circle.
She fed me when I was invisible. Now I get to be the one who feeds her.
For the next 2 days, Olivia appeared at noon without fail. A brown paper bag in one hand, and a fresh napkin heart tucked inside.
She must be exhausted after surgery, but she keeps coming. Just like I used to set that extra lunch out, never missing a day.
Turkey and cheese today, with an apple and a heart of course.
You even remembered I like turkey. Baby, you are spoiling me.
One afternoon, Nurse Rachel passed the room and paused, seeing the surgeon sitting at the bedside, laughing with her patient.
Dr. Thompson, I didn't know you knew Mrs. Johnson personally.
It's a long story, Rachel, but let's just say Miss Carroll was the very first person who ever fed me when I was hungry.
By the next shift change, the story had spread. A cafeteria worker's secret kindness, a surgeon's shoebox of napkins. Someone snapped a photo. Deacon James arrived with a card signed by the entire congregation, but he stopped in the doorway, watching the scene in quiet awe.
Mom, I just saw a post online, a photo of you and a surgeon. What's going on? Did something happen to your heart?
Michael, I am okay. I had a triple bypass, but I am recovering well. The surgeon, it's a long story, baby.
Mom, I should have been there. I didn't even know you were sick. I am so sorry.
Hush now. The Lord sent me an angel from my past. You remember those lunches I used to pack? The girl who got them is my surgeon.
Wait, the foster kid? The one with the napkins? Mom, that story is already all over social media. They're calling it a second lunch miracle.
Oh Lord, I never wanted a spectacle. I just packed a sandwich.
Miss Carroll, the hospital PR team is here. They want to know if you'd be willing to share your story. A local reporter is waiting outside.
What do you think, Olivia? I don't want to be a bother. I just did what anyone would.
What you did wasn't ordinary. It kept me alive. And there are kids out there who need to hear that someone noticed. Maybe it's time to let them.
If one child can be fed by someone else's secret kindness, then maybe the story is worth telling.
She nodded once, and the door opened. The story of the lunch lady and the surgeon was about to reach the world.
Mrs. Johnson, thank you for letting us in. Can you tell us about the day you first noticed Olivia in the lunch line?
She was just a little thing with big hungry eyes. I knew if I packed an extra sandwich, she might make it through the day. That was all.
She never asked for anything. Not a thank you, not a name. For 6 years, she fed me in secret. Those lunches were the only constant in my life.
And you kept every napkin? Over 1,000 of them?
In a shoebox, I carried everywhere. They reminded me that someone saw me when I was invisible. They're why I became a doctor.
I didn't do it for recognition. I did it because a hungry child is a hungry child. And now look at her. Fixing hearts. The Lord has a sense of humor.
Mom, I saw the interview. I am at the airport. I'll be there in 5 hours.
My boy is coming home. After all this time, maybe my heart is healing in more ways than one.
The interview aired that evening. Within hours, the clip had been shared thousands of times. An old cafeteria worker and the surgeon who carried her love in a shoebox. But before the world could fully react, one more person needed to walk through that hospital door. Michael stepped off the elevator just as Olivia leaned in, placing a napkin with a fresh heart onto Carol's meal tray.
Sometimes at the foster home, all I'd get for dinner was a glass of tap water and a slice of dry bread.
I always worried the principal would notice me packing that extra bag. I could have lost my job.
You risked your livelihood for a child you didn't even know. That's why I swore I'd become someone who could give back.
I never knew. I never knew my little hearts would mean so much. I was just trying to fill a hungry belly.
She reached out and took Olivia's hand, the same hands that once drew hearts now, gripping the surgeon's fingers with fierce tenderness. Nurse Rachel paused at the doorway, quietly lifting her phone and capturing a single photograph of the moment.
She still doesn't realize she saved more than my stomach. She saved my belief that I mattered.
Michael stood frozen in the corridor, his hand on the door handle, listening to a story he'd only seen in snippets online.
I just wish I could have done more. There were so many hungry kids. You were just the one who sat at my table.
Michael pushed open the door, his eyes filling as he saw his mother sitting up, a smile breaking through her exhaustion.
Mom, I am here. I am so sorry I wasn't here before.
You are here now, baby. That's all that matters. come meet the angel who saved me.
I am just returning a favor from 18 years ago. Your mother fed me when I was hungry.
You saved her life. I don't know how to thank you.
She saved mine first. That's what this is all about.
The next morning, a producer from a national morning show called. They wanted to fly Carol and Olivia to New York for an exclusive interview.
New York? I've never been on a plane. All this for a few sandwiches and some hearts.
Miss Carol, we don't have to go if you are not comfortable. But your story could help a lot of hungry kids.
All right, for the kids. But you are coming with me.
3 days later, a live satellite feed connected a New York morning show studio to Carol's hospital room. Olivia stood under the bright lights, the shoebox cradled against her chest.
The first time I unfolded one of those napkins and saw that little heart, I felt like someone noticed me. I wasn't just a foster kid. I was a kid worth feeding.
Carol pressed a tissue to her eyes, her other hand gripping Michael's arm. On the television screen, the host leaned in.
Dr. Thompson, what would you say to the millions of children who feel invisible right now?
Don't ever think no one sees you. There are Miss Carols all over the world, quiet angels who pack extra lunches and draw hearts when no one's looking. Somewhere, someone is fighting for you.
That child I fed is now feeding millions with words. Lord, you do work in mysterious ways.
By noon, the clip had 30 million views. A social media campaign erupted, number Second Lunch Miracle, with users sharing their own stories of quiet kindness. The shoebox photo became a symbol of hope.
All those years in that cafeteria, I felt invisible myself. But the Lord was planting seeds I couldn't see.
The segment ended with the host announcing that the hospital was being flooded with donations. People wanted to buy a lunch for a hungry child.
We didn't ask for donations, but maybe that shoebox is about to feed thousands more. Miss Carol's heart is changing the world again.
The morning after the broadcast, a hospital executive knocked on Carol's door, holding a folder thick with emails and donation pledges. She explained that thousands of people wanted to donate meals for hungry children in Carol's name. The hospital wanted to start a permanent second lunch fund.
A fund with my name on it. I am just an old lunch lady. I don't deserve all this fuss.
Mom, you deserve more than a plaque. You fed a girl who became a surgeon. If your name on a fund feeds 1,000 more, that's not fuss. That's legacy.
Miss Carol, those napkins were the only proof I had that I wasn't invisible. Let this fund be that proof for thousands of kids who feel invisible right now.
Maybe this is the reason the Lord kept me here. Not just for me, but for them. All right, if my name can help fill one child's belly, then go ahead and use it. But I don't want no big ceremony. Just feed the kids.
Michael squeezed her shoulder, a quiet tear falling. He had spent years missing his mother's hidden strength. Now the world was seeing what he'd overlooked.
I am proud of you, Mom. More than I ever said.
The papers were signed with a simple blue pen, the same brand Carol had used to draw hearts on napkins 18 years before. A week later, the hospital atrium filled with a large check made out to the Carol Johnson Second Lunch Fund.
Carol fed the hungry quietly. Now this fund will feed thousands in her name.
I am no hero. I just packed a sandwich. No child should be hungry.
Miss Carol taught me a small act can save a life. This fund is her heart, multiplied.
Still in her scrubs, Olivia knelt beside Carol's wheelchair and handed her a fresh napkin with a heart.
Even now, she remembers the little things.
The ceremonial check was large, but the real symbol was the donation box in the lobby, bearing Carol's name. Deacon James stepped forward and placed the first dollar bill into the box.
Put that box where people see it. Hunger hides in plain sight.
The fund raised $200,000 that day. But for Carol, the greatest gift was Olivia's hand in hers. A month after the ceremony, Nurse Rachel appeared with a thick folder. Carol's discharge papers were finally ready.
You've been cleared, Mrs. Johnson. No more beeping machines. Just your own bed waiting for you.
Olivia pushed the wheelchair through the hospital exit, the automatic doors parting onto a warm afternoon.
That air, real air. I never thought I'd be breathing it outside those walls.
They drove past Lincoln Elementary, its bricks unchanged, and Carol pressed a hand to the window.
I used to walk this sidewalk with an empty stomach. Now I am driving you home with a full heart.
They pulled up to a small house with a sagging porch and a single rose bush. Carol's eyes filled.
Home. I never thought I'd see these walls again.
Inside, Olivia helped her to the worn armchair and pulled a brown bag from her pocket, a heart already drawn on it.
First lunch at home. Turkey and cheese, just like you like.
After they finished eating, Olivia reached into her bag and pulled out a battered cardboard shoebox.
That same shoebox. After all these years.
I thought you might want to see them again. 1,100 hearts.
Carol lifted the lid, and the faint smell of old paper and school cafeteria filled the room. Her fingers found one on top, the ink so faded it was barely visible. "Have a good day," written in her own hand.
I remember writing this one. Olivia's first day, she looked so small and scared.
She remembers the very first one. I never imagined she'd even recall me.
I never knew if these little hearts meant anything. I just drew them and prayed.
Olivia placed her hand over Carol's, and they sat like that. The napkins scattered between them like a timeline of unspoken love.
They meant everything, Miss Carol. They still do.
3 months later, Carol knelt in her garden, pulling weeds with steady hands. Her heart was strong. Olivia arrived every Sunday with groceries and a drawn heart on each napkin she brought.
The fund just hit 10,000 meals. 10,000 kids won't go to bed hungry tonight.
10,000. Oh, sweet Jesus. Just because one old lady packed a sandwich.
Olivia handed her a printed photo. A brass plaque in the hospital lobby, engraved with Carol's name, and a small heart.
I never had my name on nothing but a name tag. Now it's on a wall for feeding kids.
Later, they sat on the porch, watching the sunset. Carol rocked in her chair, a napkin resting in her lap.
You know, I used to think I was invisible, but the Lord saw me drawing hearts, and he remembered.
You were never invisible to me, Miss Carol. Not for one day.
The street lights flickered on, and still they sat, two women bound by a shoebox of hearts, proof that the smallest kindness can save a life. Early morning at St. Mary's, Olivia stood in her office, the framed napkin on her desk, catching the first light.
200 surgeries since Miss Carol, and I still draw a heart on every chart. It's my good luck charm.
Across town, Carol sat in her armchair, the same faded napkin framed on her mantle.
That little girl must be scrubbing in right now. Lord, guide her hands like you guided mine.
Thank you, Miss Carol, for seeing me when no one else did.
You are welcome, baby. And thank you for saving my heart.
Miles apart, two women smiled. A shoebox of hearts now framed on two surfaces, beating in sync.
All right, team, let's save a life.
And in a quiet living room, an old lunch lady closed her eyes and whispered amen. The smallest kindness had come full circle, and it would keep circling long after they were gone. In a school cafeteria, a child took a brown bag from a shelf. A heart was drawn on the napkin inside. In the park, Carol and Olivia walked arm in arm, laughing at a joke only they knew.
You know, every surgery I do, I think of that first sandwich.
Sometimes the smallest things become everything.
A close-up of a fresh napkin. The words, "You are loved," in blue pen, beside a heart. The second lunch fund had now provided 50,000 meals. Children who would never know Carol's name carried her love. In the hospital, a framed napkin on a surgeon's desk caught the morning light. Olivia traced the heart with her finger before every shift. Far away, Carol closed her eyes, her own framed napkin on the mantel. One woman, 1,000 hearts. A world changed by a sandwich.